Lecture 3, Supporting Connective Tissue, Cartilage, and Bone. This lecture is based on Martini's Chapter 3 and 5. The learning objectives are organized into cartilage and bone. The drawing assignments are 3 types of cartilage: bone structure, compact and spongy bone, red and yellow bone marrow, supporting connective tissue, cartilage, and bone. Connective tissue is divided into 3 main types: connective tissue proper, supporting connective tissue, and fluid connective tissue. There are 2 types of supporting connective tissue, cartilage and bone. Supporting connective tissue provides a framework that supports the body. Supporting connective tissue has 3 basic components: cells, fibers, and ground substance. Supporting connective tissue contains very few cells that are widely separated by extracellular matrix, which contains, of course, fibers and ground substance. On the left, we see here a type of cartilage, hyaline cartilage, and we see chondrocytes, which are cartilage cells widely spaced out in a large amount of extracellular matrix. On the right, we see compact bone, a type of bone, and we see osteocytes, bone cells, widely separated by extracellular matrix. The difference in the structure of the extracellular matrix in connective tissue proper and supporting connective tissue is important for the characteristics of the tissue. So in connective tissue proper, the extracellular matrix forms a gel, and in cartilage, the extracellular matrix forms a flexible solid, and in bone, the extracellular matrix forms a rigid solid. The flexibility of connective tissue proper is greater than the flexibility of cartilage is greater than the flexibility of bone. And here as examples, we have pictures of areolar connective tissue, hyaline cartilage, and compact bone. And they would go from most flexible to least flexible. Okay, cartilage. Cartilage contains cells that are called chondrocytes. Chondro is a prefix that means cartilage. Chondrocytes are found in little round spaces called lacunae or pools. Chondrocytes produce the protein fibers and ground substance that form the extracellular matrix. Collagen fibers and elastic fibers are found in cartilage. The ground substance in cartilage contains water and proteoglycans. Perichondrium. Perichondrium means around the cartilage. Perichondrium is a sheath that surrounds most types of cartilage. Perichondrium contains an inner cellular layer and an outer fibrous layer. The inner cellular layer contains stem cells that are involved in the formation of new cartilage, whereas the outer fibrous layer contains dense, irregular connective tissue. The outer fibrous layer supports and protects the cartilage. It also attaches it to other structures. The perichondrium contains many capillaries that supply chondrocytes with oxygen and nutrients. Cartilage itself contains no blood vessels. The oxygen and nutrients must diffuse through the extracellular matrix to the chondrocytes. Therefore, if cartilage is injured, it heals slowly, and if it's severely injured, it cannot repair itself. So you have probably heard about people with knee injuries who have injured their cartilage in their knee. Perhaps they've torn a meniscus and it's not healing by itself, and they either have to just live with it that way, or have it surgically repaired. And sometimes some of it has to be removed if it's starting to interfere with the function of the joint. So kind of weakness of cartilage, that it doesn't have a great blood supply. There are 3 types of cartilage. There is hyaline cartilage, elastic cartilage, and fibrous cartilage. And it's actually the composition of the extracellular matrix that determines the characteristics of the cartilage. Here we have a picture showing you the 3 different types of cartilage. We see here a knee joint, and the knee joint has hyaline cartilage in blue, and that cartilage is covering the end of the bone in this knee joint, which is a kind of synovial joint. And we see fibrocartilage, shown here, this is the medial and lateral meniscus, which are composed of fibrocartilage. And then here we have a baby's ear, and the external ear is made of elastic cartilage. Hyaline cartilage is the most common type of cartilage. It has a smooth, glassy appearance, both grossly or to the eye and on tissue slides. Hyalanos is Greek for glass. Hyaline cartilage contains chondrocytes and lacunae, and the extracellular matrix contains thin, closely packed bundles of collagen fiber and ground substance. It is the weakest type of cartilage. Hyaline cartilage is found in many places throughout the body. It's found in the costal cartilages in the rib cage. The costal cartilages connect the ribs to the sternum flexibly to allow for breathing to take place. Hyaline cartilage is found in the articular cartilage that covers the ends of bones in synovial joints. Articular cartilage helps prevent friction between bones. Hyaline cartilage is found in the cartilage rings around airways, and the rings help keep the airways open. Elastic cartilage contains chondrocytes in lacunae, and the extracellular matrix contains many elastic fibers and ground substance. Elastic cartilage can be twisted and returned to its original shape. Think of twisting your ear and how easily it just pops back to its original shape. Elastic cartilage is found in the external ear and in the auditory canal, which extends from the outer ear to the middle ear, which starts at the eardrum or tympanic membrane. Elastic cartilage is also found in the epiglottis, which is a flap that closes over our trachea when we swallow. And we'll learn about that when we learn about the respiratory system. Fibrous cartilage or fibrocartilage contains chondrocytes and lacunae and some fibroblasts. The extracellular matrix has many collagen fibers regularly arranged in dense bundles along the stress lines in that tissue. It has little ground substance. Fibrous cartilage does not have a perichondrium and so has an especially limited blood supply. And if you look in the slide on the bottom right, you can see that there are sort of streaks in the extracellular matrix, and those are regularly arranged bundles of collagen fibers. Fibrous cartilage is found in areas of high stress, like the intervertebral discs between the vertebrae and the vertebral column, in the pubic symphysis of the pelvis, and in the menisci of the knee joint. Fibrous cartilage resists compression and absorbs shocks. It prevents bone-to-bone contact and limits joint movement, and it is the strongest cartilage. So you can imagine looking at the intervertebral discs, how helpful it is that fibrocartilage is able to resist compression and absorb shocks. Therefore, when we run or jump up and down, our vertebrae, which are stacked one on top of another, are held apart, and any shocks through our vertebral column are absorbed by our intervertebral discs. Okay, cartilage growth. Cartilage grows by interstitial growth and oppositional growth. Interstitial growth adds to cartilage from within the tissue. Chondrocytes in their lacunae divide. The new daughter cell produces additional matrix, and this makes the cartilage expand from within. Oppositional growth adds to the surface of cartilage. Stem cells in the inner cellular layer of the perichondrium divide and differentiate into chondroblasts, And then the chondroblasts produce extracellular matrix that eventually surrounds them. Once the chondroblasts are completely surrounded, they then differentiate into chondrocytes within lacunae. So that